Far too many people are committing suicide. Too many children are committing suicide. Too many adults are committing suicide. And all too often, it's said there was no clue. Sometimes there are a few clues. But what I want to share with you is a clue that is so much bigger than almost any other. So it will multiply the chances that someone that is going downhill that's not coping will be sent to get the kind of help that could make all of the difference. Now, are good resources out there, but there's just not enough of them. You know, in 75% of American counties, there's not a single child psychiatrist. Wall Street Journal the other day published a report showing that it was taking absurdly long for children with serious mental health issues to be seen by someone. So what I'm going to share with you, could make the difference between life and death for an awful number of people. So why do I say that? Well, the research around those who have committed suicide is strong. It's clear. The correlation with ADHD, the correlation with spelling and reading issues is very high. In actual fact, there's research showing that more than 50% of those that have struggles at school will, at some point in their life, develop a mental health issue. That's a huge statistic. You know, why is it that even just adolescent depression has doubled in the last 15 years? So, if we want to do something about it, just listen up, because what I'm going to share with you, I'm hoping is going to make an awful lot of sense. So what is it? Well, when someone is struggling with life, it's because they haven't got the mental capacity, the mental resilience to deal with life. They haven't got enough mental resources to come up with a plan to deal with what's happening, to rationalize it and so on. That's mental capacity. What is our mental capacity? Our mental capacity is what we have here in our thinking brain, what we can access to put things in perspective, to rationalize them, to make decisions, to come up with a plan. And this very mental capacity is the bit that is reduced by any learning issue, learning challenge that we have. So if someone is struggling with attention, then their working memory capacity will be reduced. The very ability they have to deal with life will be less than it should be. If they've got a reading difficulty, the same. If they've any form of physical clumsiness, the same. So any one of the traditional learning issues that cause them to have some sort of developmental delay, so that school is harder than it should be, any of those issues is going to reduce their mental capacity. They will have less mental resilience. And as a result, they're much more prone to having some form of serious anxiety that turns into a suicidal tendency or worse. So my message is quite simple. If, when you're evaluating someone, you're watching over them because you're a parent or a teacher or even a doctor, if there's a combination of any degree of anxiety and a learning issue, multiply your concern by 10 immediately. Because those with learning issues, they've got very good at hiding it. They got very good at going through school, watching everyone else, learning and reading and writing and concentrating effortlessly, while for them it's hard work. They go through school trying to hide that shame. And as a result, they've got reduced mental capacity, reduced mental resilience, and are far more prone to the very things that they're trying to hide. Well, the traditional methods of trying to help, of course, CBT and other things, there's some very good tools out there, but they are conscious therapies, and what we're talking about is a limitation in their subconscious abilities. The ability to develop skills so that you don't need to use your thinking brain is a subconscious process involving the cerebellum at the back of the brain there, which hardwires these skills. So to solve it, you've got to get into the cerebellum. To solve it, you've got to deal with the root cause of why it is they've got some learning struggles. So does that directly address the anxiety or the depression? No, it doesn't. And if someone is in a serious state, you must not delay. You must get them the mental health professional with them as fast as possible. But if you've got time to look for the root cause, then I'd urge you to look at what's the real root cause of their learning issue, because very often it's the very same root cause that reduce their mental resilience as well. And that's what I've been working on with Zing for many years now, is to deal with that root cause of learning issues, which indirectly increases their mental capacity and their mental resilience. So what do you want to do about it? watch out for everybody in your care. Watch out to see if there's any link between the anxiety and some form of learning or attention issue. Share this with everybody. Share it with every teacher you know. Share it with every parent you know. Share it with head teachers and get them to put an audit into the school so that they put the focus on all of those children that have got any form of learning issue, because they are at a far greater risk. Well, I'm hoping by sharing this, we all save an awful lot of lives. That's what we all want. Let's do it. All the best.